Throughout the Reign of Terror in France, there was a huge amount of executions carried out on the nation's razor, or the guillotine as it was known. Powerful men such as King Louis XVI would meet their ends on the drop of the guillotine blade, and it became a method of ruthlessly slaughtering anyone who disagreed with the French Revolution or supported the monarchy. Even those who were associated with the royal family were condemned on the guillotine by association. But one woman who expressed her support for the king and queen and actually mourned the execution of the king in secret was Rosalie Filleul, who was, for her support of the monarchy, sentenced to death herself. But what happened with her execution on the 24th of June 1794 inside of Paris, and what was her life like before her ruthless death? To support, please subscribe. Anne Rosalie Bouquet was born in Paris in 1752. Her father owned a shop and was a painter, and Rosalie was known to have inherited this interest in art. Her friends wrote about her skills and how she was gifted with painting. She had a natural ability, and in particular, she was seen as one of the biggest up-and-coming portrait painters in Paris. At the age of 17, her work was exhibited at the Salon, which was a huge achievement for her. At the age of 24, she married Louis Filleul, and he was the superintendent inside the royal chateau of Muette. He was significantly older, but the couple made a home for themselves in a relatively affluent region. Now Rosalie attracted the attention of the royal family for her skills, and in particular Queen Marie Antoinette was very fond of her. Marie gave Rosalie a number of commissions to paint portraits of her, her ladies and also her family members. Rosalie's husband died in 1778, and she was left to raise her son alone, but her husband's office and home was passed on to her by the Queen. She lived then with friends, and was close with a woman who later became a spy during the French Revolution. Prominent politicians sat for paintings for her, including even Benjamin Franklin. But when the French Revolution broke out in 1789, to begin with, Rosalie thought the change and cultural shift would be a good thing, and would bring greater freedoms. But the abolishing of the monarchy, and also the slaughter and death that came with it, was something she could not support. She became disillusioned by this, and she also did not like and support the imprisonment of the royal family, some of whom, including Queen Marie Antoinette, were her friends. She did not also like how religion was being suppressed, and things would soon become very dangerous for Rosalie Filleul. To show any support or sympathy for the former royal family and the monarch was interpreted by revolutionaries as something which was treason and against the revolution, and was something which would be punishable and punished by death. This was imposed during the Reign of Terror, and anyone who shed a single tear for the executed king or queen could be seen as dangerous. At the time, King Louis XVI had been executed on the gallows, and on the first anniversary of his execution, Rosalie wore mourning clothing, and this drew significant negative attention to her. Later she was caught trying to sell furniture in which carried the royal insignia of the fallen monarchy, and this further brought Rosalie into question. She was placed under surveillance and was then arrested, and was brought to trial for holding feelings which were said to be anti-revolutionary. At the time, the Reign of Terror was ongoing, and thousands had been taken to the guillotine to be executed. It was for the people of Paris on the 24th of June 1794, another set of executions. But Rosalie was actually executed alongside her mother, who had also been condemned. She was taken to the guillotine in Paris, and was then helped up onto the steps of the scaffold. Thousands of people were gathered, and they saw Rosalie Filleul be grabbed by the executioner and his assistant, and she was then locked under the slanted blade to await her death. Quickly the executioner scanned the guillotine to check everything was fine, and he then released the blade, bringing the skilled female painter's death instantly. The blade took her head clean off, and then fell into the basket below. Thanks for watching. To support our channel, please make sure to subscribe, and once again, thank you so much for watching.